My sister announced my miscarriage at my housewarming party, so I exposed her affair at her vow renewal. She grabbed the microphone during my best friend's welcome toast and told everyone about my recent loss before I had the chance to heal privately. The housewarming was supposed to be perfect. We'd finally bought our dream home after years of saving, and I'd specifically told my immediate family that I needed time before discussing personal matters. I'd miscarried just 3 weeks earlier and was still processing the grief. My sister Victoria knew this because I'd confided in her at the hospital when she demanded to know why I was there. Everything was going beautifully until the toast began. My colleague Sandra was halfway through welcoming us to the neighborhood when Victoria stood up from her seat and walked straight to the front. She took the microphone right out of Sandra's hand and said, "Before we celebrate this new home, I think everyone should know they were planning to fill it with a baby, but sadly that's not happening anymore." The room went dead silent. Half the guests looked stricken while the other half seemed confused and uncomfortable. My husband's hand found mine and held it tight. His mother started crying. Our new neighbors exchanged awkward glances. This wasn't the first time Victoria had done something like this. She'd announced our father's cancer diagnosis at our cousin's wedding reception 3 years ago, claiming people deserve to know the truth. Victoria stood there with this sympathetic expression, going on about how loss makes us stronger and how I shouldn't hide my pain. She actually said, "Grief shared is grief halved," while I sat there feeling my private heartbreak become public spectacle. I escaped to the bathroom where I sobbed while guests knocked to check on me. Victoria followed me and said I was being ungrateful. "I was helping you. Now you don't have to pretend everything's fine." When I told her she'd violated my privacy during an already devastating time, she rolled her eyes and said I always made everything dramatic. My parents took her side and told me Victoria meant well. My mom actually said she was trying to create a support system for you. The worst part was fielding condolences from my new neighbors for months afterward. Victoria posted about pregnancy loss awareness on social media and tagged me in everything. What should have been a private healing journey became public property. 6 months later, I started noticing things were off with Victoria. She was constantly on her phone during family dinners, smiling at texts and quickly darkening the screen when anyone looked. When her husband Marcus suggested they renew their vows for their 10th anniversary, she seemed almost panicked before agreeing. My friend Rachel, who worked at the Hilton downtown, mentioned she'd seen Victoria there multiple times, always requesting the same room, always during lunch hours, Rachel had said. The final piece came when I ran into Victoria's car in a parking garage across town, nowhere near her office or gym or any of her usual places. I waited in my car and watched her emerge 2 hours later with her husband's best friend Daniel. I watched Victoria over the next few weeks. She planned this elaborate vow renewal with a beach theme and custom invitations. She gushed about their perfect decade together while sneaking off for client lunches 3 times a week. She even hired a videographer to capture their authentic love story. The day of her vow renewal, I played the perfect supportive sister. I helped her into her dress, fixed her hair, and held her bouquet. Victoria made comments throughout the morning about how I probably couldn't handle all this romance given my loss. She actually said, "When you're ready to try again, Marcus and I can give you marriage advice." When it came time for the ceremony on the beach, Victoria had written these elaborate vows about trust and devotion. That's when I knew it was my moment. As she finished and the officiant asked if anyone had anything to share, I stood up. "I'd like to share something about trust and devotion, like how devoted Victoria has been to meeting Daniel every Tuesday and Thursday at the Hilton downtown. Since you believe in sharing everyone's private pain for their own good, I thought Marcus should know that those client lunches are actually afternoon affairs with his best friend. Room 412, if anyone needs specifics for the divorce papers." The beach went completely silent except for the waves. Victoria's face went from confusion to horror as she realized what was happening. Marcus turned to look at Daniel, who was already backing away from the wedding party. The videographer kept filming as Victoria's perfect renewal crumbled. Victoria screamed that I was a jealous liar trying to ruin her happiness. I calmly replied, "Now you know exactly how it feels to have someone share your private pain without permission at your special moment." She ran down the beach in her renewal dress while Marcus stood frozen at the altar. Our parents sat there unable to defend her this time because she'd done the same thing to me. Victoria hasn't spoken to me since, but at least she finally understands why some things should stay private until the person living them decides to share.